Legs are important. We use them to dance, run, or just awkwardly stand in line. But animals, they take it to the next level. Nearly all land animals use legs to walk. Some have evolved their legs into wings to fly through the sky, while others grew special ones to swim like pros. Thanks to the legs, animals can hunt their prey, escape a predator's claws, send signals to alert others, or wave them around to get a temporary boost in self-esteem and validation. Legs are convenient, helpful, and easy to use. But does having them mean better? Not quite. It's more complicated than you think. So let's take a wild dive into the animal kingdom to explore the many ways creatures use, or choose not to use, their legs. Let's start with animals that have opted out of legs entirely. The most famous legless creatures are, of course, snakes. Snakes have mastered the art of swaying side to side, using scales and muscles to advance, which means they glide through life like breakdancers, if breakdancing meant being constantly low to the ground and terrifying. Unlike what people usually think, snakes used to have tiny legs in the good old days. Modern species, like pythons, still have little legs left over from the past. It was pretty much like evolution just told them, you no longer require these. Then we've got legless lizards, which can look a lot like snakes, but they often have tiny, useless legs, ear openings, and eyelids. Another legless animal is the jawless fish. These slug-like marine animals resemble creatures straight out of a science fiction horror film. Jawless fish have been around for millions of years and have done all their slug-like work without jaws. Instead, they use suction cup mouths to attach themselves to prey and feed. Think of them as the ultimate couch potatoes of the sea, just waiting for the next meal to swim by. Creepy? Yes. Efficient? Definitely. Tadpoles and larvae amphibians also start life without any legs. But as they grow into frogs or salamanders, they eventually sprout some legs. These creatures prove that ditching limbs can be a pretty big advantage when it comes to slithering, swimming, or burrowing. Now, let's talk about the champions of the less is more philosophy, snails and slugs. Or we call them gastropods. These guys are everywhere: rainforests, deserts, gardens, and even the deep sea. Instead of legs, they've got a single giant foot that slowly glides from one spot to the next. What's their secret weapon? Slime. It's like their very own slip and slide, making them the smoothest and slowest movers in the animal kingdom. They also have unexpected trick up their slimy sleeves. Some snails are actually carnivorous and hunt other small creatures. Yes, you heard that right. Snails that hunt. The next time you watch a snail amble along, so to speak, know that it might be on the prowl. Another fascinating class of animals that have only one leg is the bivalves, which include species like clams, oysters, mussels, and scallops. Unlike snails and slugs, bivalves are sheltered inside two hinged shells, and they master the art of living stationary lives. Many burrow into the sand, while others attach themselves to rocks using specialized threads. Now move on to animals with two legs. You probably wouldn't think of dolphins, right? But here's the twist. Dolphins, whales, and the entire cetacean crew are technically two-legged animals. While they look like fish on the surface, they're bipedal tetrapods, meaning they evolved from four-legged ancestors. Over time, they ditched their hind legs, leaving only their two front flippers to guide them through the water. So while they're masters of the ocean now, their evolutionary story reveals they've got a hidden land-dwelling past. The Sirenia, or sirens, are also two-legged creatures. These aquatic salamanders have tiny front legs and no hind legs at all. Found in the southeastern United States and parts of Mexico, sirens live their whole lives in water and have gills, just like fish. Their small front legs and long bodies make them great swimmers. But here's the fun part. They can cross land during rainy nights in search of new watery homes. Now let's jump way back in time, and we've got a group of large flightless birds from New Zealand, moa. These giant birds had two strong legs, perfect for walking and running. But here's the kicker. Moas didn't have wings. Not even tiny, useless ones like chickens have. They were the dominant herbivores in their ecosystem until their extinction, sadly because humans overhunted them. Next up, meet the Mexican mole lizard, a pink worm-like creature that's got a strange body plan going on. Imagine a lizard that decided to go minimalist. Two strong paddle-like front legs to dig through sandy soil like a pro. As for the back legs, they're not even there, except for some tiny leftover bones visible on x-rays. It's like evolution gave the mole lizard a pass on leg day and said, you'll be fine with just the front ones. And indeed, it thrives underground with unique digging skills and blunt head. When it comes to three-legged animals, nature doesn't seem to have produced any true species that naturally evolved with only 3 legs. One of the reasons is that having 3 legs is not an efficient way to move, and it's extremely hard to keep body balance. However, some animals show tripedal behavior, meaning they use 3 limbs for certain movements. Parrots often uses its 2 legs and its beak as a third limb to climb or hold onto branches. It's like they have an extra hand for gripping things, allowing them to move more easily through trees. Or tripod fish, known as a stilt walker, uses 3 long fins to stand over the seafloor like a tripod, giving its common name. While it's quite challenging to name 3-legged animals, doing the same thing with 4-legged ones is easier than ever. This group includes mammals, birds, amphibians, reptiles, and more. But not all those animals are alike when it comes to how they use their legs. Some species have evolved in unique ways, adapting their limbs to specialized purposes. For instance, kangaroos don't walk, they bounce. They have incredibly strong back legs designed for jumping. They can jump to 30 feet in a single leap. Their muscular tail acts almost like a 5th leg, providing balance and stability when they're stationary. On the other hand, geckos use their 4 legs in a completely different way. They have sticky toe pads, which are covered in millions of tiny hairs called setae, allowing them to cling to smooth surfaces, effortlessly scale walls, hang upside down, and navigate treetops with ease. Let's not forget about birds, our flying friends. Their front legs have turned into wings, making them the only animal that can fly long distances. But not all birds use their wings to take to the skies. Take the ostrich, for example. They use wings for balance while running. And penguins? They've turned wings into flippers, becoming expert swimmers. Now, why is moving on 4 legs such a hit in the animal kingdom? Well, it's all about stability and balance. With 4 legs on the ground, animals are like sturdy off-road vehicles. They can handle rough, uneven terrain with ease. Plus, spreading their weight across 4 limbs helps bigger animals avoid injuries. And let's not forget the extra agility. Having 4 legs means they can take sharp turns and navigate tight spaces like pros, making it much easier to get around in the wild. When it comes to animals with 5 legs, starfish are the true stars of the show. Literally. These ocean dwellers typically have 5 arms, which they use to move and hunt, and they can be regenerated. Starfish rely on tiny tube feet located on the underside of their arms to crawl across the ocean floor. These tube feet help them grip surfaces, move slowly but steadily, and catch prey like clams or other small sea creatures. What's cool is that if a starfish loses one of its arms, it can regrow over time. While most starfish have 5 arms, some species have more, but the classic 5-limbed starfish is one of nature's most efficient designs. Now let's hop over to the kingdom of 6-legged animals, insects. Insects are the most diverse group of animals on Earth. Scientists estimate there are around 5.5 million different species out there, though only about 1 million have been officially named so far. Insects' 6 legs give them stability, speed, and versatility. Ants, for example, use their legs not just for walking but also for carrying objects up to 50 times their body weight. Their incredible strength and balance allows them to navigate tricky terrain like dirt mounds, branches, and leaves, all while balancing heavy loads. Grasshoppers use their legs differently, mainly for jumping. The powerful back legs allows them to leap up to 20 times their body length in a single bound, which helps them quickly escape predators and move efficiently across open environments. And then there's the cockroach, known for its speed and resilience. Cockroaches can sprint at remarkable speeds, and they're so fast that when running at top speed, they sometimes switch to using just 2 legs, almost mimicking a bipedal run. But insects aren't the only 6-legged creatures out there. Lesser-known critters like springtails, dipolarans, and proturans are also part of the hexapod family. Though they don't have wings, these tiny guys play crucial roles in soil ecosystems, helping break down organic matter and recycle nutrients. So while they're not as famous as their insect cousins, they're just as important in keeping nature in balance. When it comes to 7-limbed animals, things get a bit tricky. Nature doesn't produce animals with exactly 7 legs. However, there is an interesting exception: the 7-armed octopus. Despite its name, this octopus actually has 8 arms, but it appears to have only 7 because the male's 8th arm is cleverly hidden. This specialized arm is coiled in a sac underneath the octopus's right eye and is used for reproduction, which gives the illusion of it being a 7-legged creature. This deep-sea octopus, found in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, is one of the largest species of octopus, with an arm span that can reach up to 11 feet. Like other octopuses, it uses its visible arms for catching prey, moving along the ocean floor and exploring its environment. The 7-armed octopus is a fascinating reminder that nature loves to throw in some quirky surprises. Some animals think having 4 or 6 legs isn't enough, so they come up with 2 more. Spiders are the stars of this group, using their legs for everything from spinning webs to tearing prey up. Spiders don't just move their legs with muscles like most creatures, they use hydraulic pressure. That's right, they pump fluid into their legs to make them extend, which means their creepy, crawly movements are powered by a kind of internal plumbing system. Talk about efficiency, even if it's a little spooky to think about. Since we've already touched on octopuses with the 7-arm octopus, let's focus on the classic 8-limbed octopus for this part. These oceanic masters of multitasking take the 8-limbed game to the next level. Each of their arms operates almost like its own little brain, capable of independent thought and movement. That means an octopus can open a jar with one arm, squeeze through a tiny space with another, and hunt. And as if that weren't cool enough, their suction cups not only help them grip, but also taste whatever they touch. So each arm is like a Swiss Army knife, packed with sensory tools, making octopuses one of the smartest and most versatile creatures in the sea. Let's switch gears and take a look at the unusual world of 9-legged creatures. Meet the 9-armed sea star, stand out among its starfish relatives. While most sea stars are content with 5 arms, this one decided to level up with a total of 9. Found in the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, this species can grow to a diameter of about 30 to 40 centimeters. Those 9 arms aren't just for show either. They help the sea star grab prey and scuttle along the ocean floor. It might not be the most common sea star out there, but the 9-armed sea star proves that sometimes more arms mean more opportunities. Now let's talk about animals that took the more legs, more fun approach. Millipedes didn't just stop at 8 legs. They went all out. The record holder can have up to 1,306 legs, while others stick to just a few hundred. These many legs help them burrow through soil, turning it over and loosening it up like tiny plows. It might seem like overkill, but hey, those legs get the job done. Then there's the sunflower sea star, which decided that 24 arms were the way to go. They glide across the ocean floor using all their arms to grab prey. They wouldn't think something with that many legs would be graceful, but they're surprisingly effective hunters, using each arm to steer and snag a meal. So why do animals have so many different leg setups? It's all about evolution and adaptation. Over millions of years, animals have developed different numbers of legs to suit their environment. Fewer legs makes it easier for some to move, like snakes, which slither around effortlessly. Others, like millipedes, need more legs for extra stability and control. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more wild knowledge you might have or haven't heard of. See you in the next video.